to welcome you to the first panel discussion, and it is entitled the National Programs for the Preparation and Development of Teachers. Welcome all of you in the first panel of this conference. It's entitled National Programs for the Preparation and Development of Teachers. I'm Dr. Riyad Al-Mahaidib, Vice Chancellor of Zayed University in the United Arab Emirates. I have 16 years of experience in education, and I have 25 years of experience in academic field. I was in the United Arab Emirates University, and now I'm in Zayed University. I'm pleased to be with you today, and if there is any initiative or contribution, we are more than pleased to welcome it and to work to achieve it. In this panel session, we'll have 4 speakers. The first speaker is Mahra Hilal Al-Mutawi, the Director of Regional Center for Educational Planning in the United Arab Emirates. I would start by introducing the speakers, and afterwards I will shift to managing and chairing the session. After the 4 speakers deliver their presentations, I will open the floor to discussions. So you can note down any remarks or comments you have till we open the door to discussion at the end of this panel session. So Mahra Hilal Al-Mutawi is Director of the Regional Center for Educational Planning under the auspices of UNESCO, and holds a UAE Government Leaders Program certificate. Before working as the Director of the RCEP, she occupied several positions at the Ministry of Education, including Project Manager for Development of Education Leaders, Technical Supervisor for the Management of Educational Supervision for the area of Dubai, and Specialist in Science Curricula at the Center for Curricula and Books. She is a member of a number of scientific arbitration and quality assessment committees of educational institutions. She will talk about the national programs for the preparation of teachers in the United Arab Emirates. The second speaker is Fatma Belrahif. She is the Director of Dubai School Inspection Bureau and Knowledge and Human Development Authority in Knowledge and Human Development Authority. She is the Director of Dubai School Inspection Bureau at the Knowledge and Human Development Authority in Dubai. As I said, over the past 8 years, she has initiated and participated in a number of strategic projects in DSIB and KHDA. Fatma graduated from the Mohammed bin Rashid program for leadership development in 2006. This 2-year innovative was designed to develop future national leaders capable of promoting sustainable development in the UAE. She was awarded Distinguished Administrative Employee Award in the Dubai Government Excellence Program by His Highness Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum, in addition to other recognition certificates from other institutions, including the European Foundation of Quality Management verification process. The third presentation will be delivered by Maitha Hamda Al-Habsi, and Hussein Al-Blushi will deliver it on her behalf. And Hussein Al-Blushi is Director of Financial Culture in the Emirates Foundation. He has 7 years of experience in managing the community services, and he will talk about the programs, the national programs that support the teachers and educators. The fourth speaker will be Dr. Tuya Rasnin. She is education expert and director of development in city of Java-Skila, or in the Republic of Finland. Dr. Rasnin has been working as a lead expert in the education partnership program in Abu Dhabi, Finland from 2012-2014. She was also coordinating and acting in the master's degree program education for emerging educators in collaboration with the Faculty of Education, University of Jyväskylä in Finland. She has worked in the field of education since 1985, mainly in Finland, but also in Zambia, and the past 2 years in the United Arab Emirates. She has a long experience as a primary school teacher, language teacher, school vice principal, and principal. She also has experience as a lecturer and a teacher and educator at the University of Jyväskylä in Finland. She will she will shed a light on her experience in Finland and also her experience, her recent experience in the UAE. So now we give the floor to our first speaker in this panel session, to Mahra Hilal Al-Mutawayi. You have the floor. You can deliver your presentation about national programs for the preparation of teachers. You have the floor. In the name of Allah, the most compassionate, most merciful, peace be upon you. I'm pleased today to be among this elite of experts in education, in primary school and universities, and all people concerned in education in the United Arab Emirates and from other countries. I would like also to thank the Emirates Center for Strategic Studies and Research for having invited me to this education forum for the 5th year. And we all wait this event to be held in the Emirates Center for Strategic Studies and Research, and we would like to see practical recommendation after this conference, this two-day conference. I would like to thank you for choosing this topic, because we believe that the teacher is the core and the essence of the education process. I started with the students of 5th grade till the grade of 12, and I will shed some light on my experience and some stories with my female students. And I'm proud of the students I taught, the teacher and educator. Who is the teacher? He is the cornerstone and the core of the education process and system. If we want to develop the infrastructure, the school infrastructure, the school leadership, we cannot achieve these objectives if we do not start by developing the teacher. Who is the teacher we want to have? I can remind you of the story of a teacher, the director of UNESCO. He was paying a visit to a school in South Africa, and he found a very strange interaction between the teacher and the student. So the headmaster of the school introduced this teacher to the director of the UNESCO, and this director of the UNESCO said, before I was the professor, but in this classroom and in this particular moment, this teacher is the real teacher who can teach in all circumstances, and he said so because he entered a classroom where there is no chalk, no board, nothing. The infrastructure was very poor, and in that particular circumstance he said this is the real teacher who can teach in every circumstance. UNESCO approved a program, and Mr. Marwan said in his presentation and mentioned some statistics issued from a UNESCO report, and UNESCO said that it aims to generalize the primary education to all students all over the world, and the shocking number is that there is a big number of students who still don't join the education system. Why is this? Because we have a shortage of teachers, and there is another reason, which is and also because some teachers are not qualified enough. So the UNESCO set 4 objectives and set a strategic plan in order to solve these problems, and in UNESCO they set the objective of making education for all, and they are collaborating with the government in order to provide qualified teachers who are supported by their governments and their communities. UNESCO is looking for a teacher and educator who has the necessary skills, has the necessary training that qualifies them to teach, because in some countries 75% of educators do not receive the training and have not received any training in the last few years. So the UNESCO states that these teachers should have qualified, should have skills and diplomas and degrees from approved and accredited institutions, and should receive continuous training. Why are we looking for the good teacher and the good educator? A lot of surveys and studies state that in order to build the good teacher, we should look also at the outcomes of the students in order to know whether the performance of this teacher is good or not, and whether it is reflected on the students. And according to this graph, which is displayed in this slide, if we look at the performance of the student, if the student is taught by a poorly qualified teacher, his performance will be low, and if he is taught by a highly qualified teacher, the outcome of the student will be high and can reach 90%. Another thing that some studies mention states that the performance of the teacher is the most important factor in the success of any education process. Now, going back to education, the history of education in the UAE, if we go back to the rule of the late His Highness Sheikh Zayed bin Sultan Al Nahyan, he was given great importance to education, and the teachers and the educators were mingling among the students and their parents and their guardians in order to showcase the importance of education and benefit the new generation. What do we want from education in the United Emirates? As you know, we launched the vision of 2021, and we want to become one of the best countries in the world by 2021. And by saying this, we mean high quality of life and sustainable environment. And also part of this is having a very strong education system of first class, and this can allow our Emirati citizens to have equal opportunities in order to learn and contribute to the progress of the country and polish their personality. And we should have a creative and innovative teacher and educator in order to achieve this goal. As I said, we should learn from other experiences. What other education system did in Finland and other countries in order to achieve their objectives? There are three things. They recruited the best people to education. When we select 10 best graduates of high school, and guide them to study education, we can assure somehow that we'll have highly qualified teachers. In Finland, 10% are accepted only. It means that if 20,000 apply, only 2,000 are accepted, and this is after a number of interviews and assessments. In Singapore and Hong Kong, they accept 30% only. So their approach is to recruit only the best. After recruiting the best people, they have a continuous program which deals with the continuous training done and conducted by the ministry and also by the education institution. And above, at the top of that, there is a compulsory requirement which necessitates that this teacher benefit from continuous training and continuous learning. And here we have to highlight the cycle of making the teacher, or what we can term teacher-making industry. The higher education institutions have an important role here, in addition to Ministry of Education and the society. So we should raise awareness about the role of these three stakeholders. And as Mr. Marwan said, we have a program to recruit and attract the best teachers, and we are focusing on recruiting the male teachers, male local teachers, and I hope personally that we do the same to attract female teachers. I can ask the question, how many teachers here in this hall? Can you raise your hand? How many of you is a headmaster or principal of school? How many of you is academic supervisor? How many of you is from Ministry of Education or leaders of Ministry of Education? How many of you is from higher education institution and is working on developing the skills of teachers? How many of you is from Abu Dhabi Education Council? I have a question. Therefore, I have a question to all the attendees who raised their hands. Who is from you encourages his or her child to select education program in university study? Who is from you encouraged a relative, a sibling, or a child, or any one of his or her relatives to be a student of College of Education? I see that we can estimate and say that there is only 1% or 2% of people who really have the determination to encourage their loved ones to study education. We should lead by example before talking to our communities. We should improve the image of the teacher in the eyes of ourselves and our communities. The higher educations are providing the necessary skills to train the teachers, and they have to assume their responsibility in preparing the teachers. Of course, we should honestly say that they still lack some guidance standards, so that these programs abide by these standards, and I think that soon we will have these standards to accredit the ideal and the exemplary Emirati teacher development. Development is very important because, as I said in the beginning, there are 3 institutions which have to assume their role here. It is the Ministry of Education, Ministry of Higher Education, and the society, the community, because we have to follow up even after the graduation of the student to be a teacher. There should be a larger role of civil society institutions, especially the Association of Emirati Teachers. We see that they are not really assuming the responsibilities and the roles. Sometimes they do, especially in developing the teachers, but I think they can make a better effort in order to collaborate their efforts with the ministry when it comes to improving the skills of the teachers. I give an example of the universities where there is a program of education, the United Arab Emirates University and higher colleges of technology, and the Zayed University as well. We have Educational Development College, and if we compare between these institutions, we find that all of these universities they have the program of early childhood, primary education, higher studies education, and by primary school also are existing programs are existing in all these universities, and I mean UAE University, Higher Colleges of Technology, Zayed University, and College of Emirates College of Development. We also have a special education in the Emirates College of Development and Technology of Education and English language. And in the Higher College of Technology, the program of English language is for the high schools and the middle school. How many years will these programs remain in our universities? How do we measure the outcomes? How the ministry deal with the recruitment and attraction of students to specialize in these programs? There is a difficulty in employing these graduates of colleges of technology. There is a lack of coordination between the Ministry of Education and the Ministry of Higher Education. This ministry should measure the applicability of their plans in the future. Now let me move to challenges, our current challenges and our future challenges. And here I took the College of Education in the United Arab Emirates University, since it is the oldest university here in the UAE, and it is accredited since 2005. From 1998 to 2005, it worked on getting accreditation, and most of the graduates now are from the College of Education in the United Arab Emirates University. And this college, they update their programs continuously in order to go in line with the latest trends in education worldwide, not only in theory but also in practice. The Emirates College of Education is the latest. It applies a Singapore pattern in preparing the teacher, and the new thing about this college is that it gives scholarships, so the students have a kind of salaries, monthly salaries, and this year the scholarships and the salaries increased, and this is a very encouraging approach. Also, we have a restructuring of the administration of this college, but still this institution faces some challenges. Look at the College of Education in the United Arab Emirates University. How many students are enrolled from 2010 to 2014? There is a decrease, unfortunately, and of course, there is a decrease not only in the education program but also in other programs, and we noticed recently that male students do not apply for education programs at all. This is a problem, and we have to do something to solve this problem. And if we look at this graph as well, in 2012 there was 6 males only and 141 females. And in 2013 and 2014 we have only female graduates and no single male graduates. So we hope that this situation changes and that we see male students enrolling for education programs. So we see that these institutions develop their programs, but still they face a big challenge which has to do with the culture. I had in mind to share with you some recommendations, but I think that I will select the most important of them. We should have a national strategy in the field of raising awareness about the importance of the educator and the teacher careers. We should set standards for the preparation of the teacher and standards, updated standards for licensing the teachers, in addition to the new standards for supervision and the technical support to the teachers, standards for training and continuous learning for the teacher, and standard for quality control, and standards for evaluating the performance of the teacher, and the standard for selecting the teachers who are well qualified to work as teachers and educators. We have a number of objectives in mind, and we have to achieve these objectives. We want to surprise several higher education institutions which lack nowadays teacher students. If we do not exert enough effort, we will aggravate the situation, because now male students don't apply to education programs. Maybe in the future even female students will stop to apply for education programs. So we have to do something to face this challenge. So, and another thing, and another call to all institutions, academic and education institutions: if you have highly qualified teachers, teachers, please retain them. They are treasure and they are your fortune. And I will conclude by sharing with you a story that happened to me in 1995 in a school. I was teaching science, and before joining this school, there were only 2 females who graduated from this school. I stayed 5 years in that school, and starting from 1995, I witnessed an increasing number of females joining this school. 5 of these students or teachers, there are some of my ex-students who are preparing their master's degrees, others who are preparing their PhD degrees. I have a student who is a teacher now and is facing some difficulties. And when I discuss with her, she tells me that I take you as an example and I want to reproduce your career. When I joined that school, I invested a lot of effort in changing the culture, because the continuity of education for the girl was not supported enough and sufficiently. I invested effort in changing this attitude, and I had an objective in mind that my students should follow the path of encouraging their communities and the society to encourage the ladies and the female students to choose proudly education as a career. I think that the change will address our whole nation, which is the United Arab Emirates. Thank you very much for your listening, and special thanks to the Emirates Center. We thank Ms. Mahra, and we invite Fatma Belrehif to the stage. Peace be upon you. In the name of Allah, the most compassionate, the most merciful, I would like to welcome you to this session, and I'm so happy to be part of this interesting and important discussions and presentations. Today I will talk with you about developing the quality of teaching and the effectiveness of the teacher. And I will talk from my experience in private schools in Dubai to tell you about the Knowledge and Human Development Authority in Dubai. It was established in 2006, and we collaborate with the schools and education institutions in the Free Zone and Training Institute. So we have as a mission and a vision to contribute to developing the education panorama in Dubai through partnership with the community. One of the important sections in KHDA is the authority of school control in Dubai, and it controls the quality of education in Dubai, and it shares with the parents and the guardians the most recent studies, surveys conducted in Dubai in the Dubai schools, in addition to target the increase of teachers' performance in Dubai. I will share with you some figures and statistics. The private schools exceeds. In the private schools, we have more than 243,000 students, and we have more than 158 private schools, and almost 15,000 teachers in these schools. When we tackle the education effectiveness in the private schools in Dubai, we focus on the incomes and outcomes outcomes, and we highlight the areas that we need to evaluate, how to what extent teachers are aware of their curricula, how they can plan their curricula, how they interact with their students, how effective are their plans, how can they contain the students and fulfill the requirements, and at the top of that is how, to what extent the teacher can enable the student to improve his learning and all her learning skills. We have 4 categorization: excellent, good, acceptable, and weak. With regards to the result of the school control in terms of the quality of education, the blue means excellent and good, and the other colors are distributed to other scores, and so the gray means acceptable, and red means weak. So you can see that the weak is very limited, and most of our teaching programs are good or above the good score. If we look for the link between the performance of the teacher and the outcomes of the students, we can come up with a number of statistics. The progress of the performance of the student is good in Arabic and mathematics, and this is the result of the effort we extend and exert with the private schools and communities since 2006. But if the schools have weak performance or acceptable performance, this reflects on the outcomes of the students, especially in Arabic, mathematics and science. So there is a very strong relation between the quality of the teaching process and outcomes of the student. There are several elements in this regard in the school, in the students and the teacher. So we have 3 elements: student, teacher, and the school. If we want to detail about the development of the teachers, we can say that we have some challenges, especially when it comes to the curriculum of Arabic. When we faced that problem, we said that we should work more on developing the qualifications and the skills of the teachers, Arabic teacher. 19% of Arabic teachers have academic qualifications and other additional qualifications in teaching. 50% of Arabic teachers have a university degree in teaching Arabic, and 31% of the Arabic teachers for the Arab speakers have a university degree as well in Arabic language. Of course, you know that His Highness Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum launched several initiatives to support the Arabic teachers in order to strengthen the skills of Emiratis and residents in Arabic, and I can mention a few of them. The initiative of evaluating the performance of teachers of Arabic and Islamic education, and this targeted 40% of this targeted scrutinizing the knowledge of these teachers in some skills like their knowledge in the subject matter they are teaching, and out of the total number of teachers who undergo this assessment, only 26 of them succeeded. So we are thinking to launch other assessments and evaluation initiatives and programs in order to increase the level and the quality of education among the teachers of Arabic and Islamic education. I think that the school administration holds responsibility and assume its responsibility. They should be more demanding on selecting and choosing the teachers of Arabic and Islamic education. The other stage is to evaluate and assess the outcomes of the school. We noticed that there is no difference between how the teacher evaluates himself or herself and how the school is evaluating that teacher. If the school is pragmatic and realistic and diagnoses properly the performance of the teachers, I think in this situation only we can develop the teachers and improve their performance. But if there is a vacuum and a gap between the self-evaluation and the evaluation done by the school, I think in this case we should do something to solve that problem. Regarding the educational parties, we need to develop the standard, the career standard, the licenses to the teachers and opening schools, in addition to regulations and laws, and how to support more the workers in the educational field. Regarding the regulations and the systems, we have a number of American schools where the performance of schools was poor, and parents aimed to enable their children to be good in English. They are good in English, but according to the quality control of schools, say something different. When we looked at the teachers who teach our children, 30–80% of these English teachers are not English native speakers, and it's why the KHDA set a number of standards, not only for the English language, but only in mathematical sciences and other subjects. Of course, we do acknowledge that the communication capability of the student helps him acquire more effectively mathematics and science subjects, but still we need to work more, and we will do that gradually in order to set a standard which says that only English natives teach English language. I will share with you another initiative which we launched in KHDA, and its slogan is "We improve together," and we aim to include and involve all the stakeholders, educators, students, parents, and we hold 6 forums every year under the slogan "Together we progress." And I conclude my presentation, and thank you very much for your listening. We thank Ms. Fatma, and now we invite Hussein Leblouchi to deliver the presentation of Maytha Hamad Al-Habsi. In the name of Allah, the most compassionate, the most merciful, peace be upon you. I'm Hassin Leblouchi from Emirates Foundation for Development of Youth Skills. I will talk about the assistant teacher, and it's one of the exciting programs in the Emirates Foundation. And before that, I would like to thank the Emirates Center for Strategic Studies and Research for having invited the Emirates Foundation. And to be honest, I had no experience in education before, but my field in project management enabled me to be part of this program of assistant teacher in the Emirates Foundation for Youth Development. So the Emirates Foundation for Youth Development was established in 2005, and we have 6 programs. Every program goes through these stages: incubation, and these incubations or these stages are incubation, pilot, scale up, and spin off. In the incubation, we conduct studies and we look at the best practices in other countries or even in UAE, and we try not to imitate them but to apply them after customization and even implement them in a better way. When we design the program, we communicate with the stakeholders and the concerned parties, and we test this concept and we assess the market's demand. The objectives of the program of assistant teacher is to meet the requirement and achieve the initiative of integration of these assistant teachers in the schools of the UAE. The program of Kayani aims developing females to be assistant teachers in government institutions and also private schools. And our objective is to teach females because honestly we did not see any popularity of this program among males, so we focused on females. What we came across is that a number of females do not continue their studies in education program either because of getting married early or because of quitting the university before completing the program in education. So in cooperation with the British University in Dubai, we set and we designed a completed program of 1 year, 6 years, focus on theory, and 6 other months focus on practice. This program aims the female students who did not complete high school and university studies, and after graduating from this program we give them an accredited degree from the British University in Dubai. The age category we target is 18 to 35 years from the 7 Emirates of the UAE, and we target the Emirati females who did not complete their study because of early marriage or because they don't complete the study due to some personal or family circumstances. The applicant to the program of Kiyani, and I can tell you that this program started in 2014, we received only 100 applications, and we had 70 female students to receive this training in collaboration with the British University, and we had 50 graduate students. In the second year, much more students applied, and we expect to have more and more graduates from this program, and the increase was tremendous. The applications reached the number of 4,600, so an increase, a big increase in the enrollment and joining of this program. The achievement of this program are as follows. We have 210 trainees. The number was less than that. We had only 200 trainees, and we had only 52 graduates. And in 2012, the number of graduates who have been employed didn't exceed 12 female graduates. According to this graph, the Kayani program achieved a big success in this short period of time. The period of the program is 12 months. The first month talks about and addresses theory, and it consists of 10 units. And we have a theory of education, the strategies of education, the role of the teacher in the classroom, and the expected challenges. So these are examples of this theoretical stage of the first 6 months. We had a look at the practices of assistant teacher in Britain starting from 1998, and it was very successful. And we, from our side, when we saw this practice and we applied it in the UAE, we saw that it becomes unprecedentedly very popular. It's why we aim to develop it more, and we collaborate with the Ministry of Education, the Abu Dhabi Education Council as well, in order to employ these female graduates of Kayani program in order to be assistant teachers in both government and private schools, in order to alleviate the pressure of work among teachers. The needed support, the objectives of Kayani program or the assistant teacher program will not be realized unless we find opportunities of job for the graduates, and cooperating and collaborating with educational institutions in the UAE. And we thank in particular Abu Dhabi Education Council, because it helped us to employ 18 graduates in Abu Dhabi and Al Ain. And we look for more cooperation with other education institutions, especially educational zones in Northern Emirates, in Fujairah and its neighbors. And we will continue to extend more effort to give the opportunity to this category of students who quit school 10 years ago or 15 years ago, and they are mothers now we can get assistant teachers who can get revenue and contribute to the progress of the society and the nation. So developing the Emirati females that was covered by several media outlets here in UAE, and I would like to share with you a video about the assistance we provide to the assistant teachers through this program.
لقيت المكان هذا أكثر من إني أكون مساعدة، أنا أكون مربية أجيال.
طالبة حسان محمد راشد منزروي من برنامج المعلم المساعد فرع دبي. أشكر في البداية سيدي صاحب السمو عبد الله بن زايد اللي رعاته لهذا البرنامج، ومؤسسة الإمارات لتنمية الشباب، والجامعة البريطانية على الجهود اللي يبذلوها في دراستنا خلال هالفترة. وهالبرنامج وايد يعني استفدت منه أشياء، إنه غير أشياء وايد كثيرة في حياتي. فترة إني كنت 3 سنوات في البيت، الحين في الفترة ال6 أشهر اللي درسناها إنه تغير تفكيري، تغيرت المعلومات اللي عندي عن برنامج المعلم المساعد.
في سحل السالم السويدان، أنا من دبي. دخلت في برنامج المعلم المساعد، كانت فرصة طيبة بالنسبة لي كأم وربة بيت. كانت مفاجأة قبولكم لي، كانت هاي مفاجأة ما كنت متوقعة، يعني جلست 15 سنة في البيت، يعني وإني أنقبل في برنامج هذا، نحصل فرصة على عمل ودراسة في نفس الوقت وشهادة.
أنا علي حمد راشد النعيم من مدينة العين. عرفت عن البرنامج عن طريق الجريدة وقدمت على البرنامج والحمد لله رب العالمين قبلت. واشكر الدكاترة اللي ساعدوني على نجاح البرنامج، واللي كنت أطمح طبعا من قبل أني أكمل دراستي، بس لظروف خاصة ما قدر، والحين الحمد لله رب العالمين. وبعد ما أخلص البرنامج إن شاء الله شغلات أكثر وأدرس إن شاء الله.
استفدت وايد من هذا البرنامج، ساعدني وايد في إني أفهم أطفالي كيف أربيهم، وكيف إني أوصل المعلومات، وكيف إني أعلم الطلبة في المستقبل. ساعدني وايد إني أخذ أفكار وايد حلوة عن المعاقين وكيف التعامل معاهم، واستراتيجيات التعليم المستقبلية، وإني أقدر إني أطور التعليم عن طريق التنويع وأشياء ثانية.
استفدت من البرنامج كيفية مساعدة الأطفال، وتعلم استراتيجيات التدريس ودور المعلم في إدارة الصف.
ومشكورين وجزاكم الله.
Thank you very much.
شكرا أستاذ حسين.
Thank you, Mr. Hussein.
Assalamu alaikum. Good morning, honored organizing ECSSR members, dear educator, friends, ladies and gentlemen. It is an honor to be here sharing the current ideas of education. I come from Finland, and it's extremely lovely to be here in warm Abu Dhabi. My daughter called me just before I came here and told me that, "Mommy, it's snowing." In my presentation, I will focus on one of the opportunities for development here in Abu Dhabi. I'm focusing on a program. It's a professional development in Emirati-Finnish dialogue. It's EPA program, and it has got 2 EPA program schools here, one in Abu Dhabi and one in Al Ain. The structure of my presentation goes like this. I firstly focus on some general remarks on teacher professionalism based on the research, and then I focus on the EPA program, and there in the university PD program and also master's degree in education program. I have 2 kind of slides with a blue background of global nature and slides with white background dealing with Abu Dhabi and Finland collaboration. There is a global consensus that teacher education must be developed in order to be better to respond to challenges of the 21st century. We all know that. There naturally is variation in the pedagogy, implementation and structure of teacher education in different countries and also in the involvement of national governments. However, despite the differences, the field of teacher education has constantly been the object of political attention. Reforming teacher education has been one of the key strategies in government policies to develop schooling and promote the work of teachers, and also to support economic development and conserve the cultural heritage. The professional competency of teachers is one of the most crucial and critical issues affecting educational outcomes. Ongoing changes in the wider world have created new challenges for teachers who are really expected to be self-directed, lifelong learners, and to work collaboratively and across disciplines in order to fulfill the demands of increasingly complex societies. The role of teacher educators is crucial in enhancing teacher quality, and thus the efficacy of the teacher education has become a focus of concern all over the world. Teacher educators are seen as having the main responsibility for ensuring the quality of the teacher education and developing teacher education programs. Those who are educating children of today, leaders of tomorrow, are highly valued in Finland. Only those who have the highest marks in the senior high school can enter teacher education at the universities. Since the late 1970s, the Finnish government decided an academic master's degree to be the basic teaching qualification. Teacher education in Finland is based on research, and this has enabled to enhance the public trust in teachers and their professional responsibilities. Teachers in Finland enjoy social prestige, and teaching is seen as a competitive career choice by many, many young Finns. In Finland, schools have considerable amount of autonomy and freedom to find the best ways to support pupils' learning. Teachers in Finland do not have to struggle with competition, standardization, test-based accountability or privatization of public education. Teachers can focus on teaching and good student learning. Respected Finnish scholar Pasi Salberi argues that in Finland it is recognized that teaching is a difficult profession. Teaching requires complex knowledge and skills similar to those that medical doctors and lawyers have to use in their work. Salberi also sees that school teaching is a team play, where leadership and a shared dream and common professional qualifications help the team to be more than just its individual player. An individual teacher is not disconnected from other teachers and the professional community they share. Academic research-based teacher education focuses on the following aspects of professionalism. Teachers have the main role in planning and designing their curricula. Teachers are free to choose the best teaching methods to reach the learning goals determined in the school curriculum. Teachers are responsible for assessing and grading their students according to the guidelines in their school curriculum. Professionalism in the Finnish schools requires teachers to be active members in their professional communities. High-performing school systems value the following elements in teachers' work. Teaching that is based on collaboration instead of isolation. Autonomy instead of bottom-down authority. Responsibility enhanced with the educational professionalism instead of bureaucratic accountability make professional practice better than strictly determined procedures. Earlier, I have described the autonomy of the schools and teachers in Finland. However, their planning and implementation must be based on the guidelines of the national framework curriculum, which is revised approximately every 10 years in Finland. Local and national working groups prepare the renewed national frameworks for different subjects. Every single teacher has a right and responsibility to participate in the curriculum revision process. Teachers have a key role also in designing and writing learning materials that private publishers make available for all schools and teachers. Absence of national standardized tests allows teachers to teach what they think is important for pupils. And it also requires that student assessment practices must be described in detail in each school's curriculum. Principals in high-performing schools in Finland work with highly qualified teachers who come from the top tiers of the graduation range, who have been rigorously educated in the universities and thoroughly supervised in specific teaching practice schools. These teachers are also often strongly engaged with their teachers' work and therefore remain in education for all of their careers. In those countries where teachers are less well qualified, less well prepared, because they are trained in short programs outside of universities, they turn over more quickly. This means that principals have to put a lot of effort and spend time in repairing deficits in the teaching force. If teacher education institutions are to be effective, they should support a culture of continuous collaborative learning. And they will have to develop their practices in order to promote this culture among their students. Teacher educators influence the practices enacted in the student-teachers' future workplaces, the schools. Teacher educators act as role models to prospective teachers, and the new teachers teach as they themselves are taught, not as they are taught to teach. Since 2010, there has been a partnership agreement between Abu Dhabi Education Council and EduCluster Finland. An expert consortium developed the education system model in 2 flagship schools in Abu Dhabi. Concept builds on a combination of the core elements of the Finnish primary school curriculum and teaching and learning through the new school model in Abu Dhabi. One of the key elements in the Abu Dhabi-Finland Partnership Programme is to offer professional development programs for Emirati educators. Professional development programs are conducted by the Faculty of Education, University of Jyväskylä, Finland. The professional development programme consists of 60 European credits, which means more than 1,560 hours workload for each participant during 2 academic years. University of Jyväskylä awards a diploma on pedagogical studies after completion of the PD programme. Jyväskylä University PD programme is designed for Emirati teachers who work in the EPA programme schools in Al Amin School, Abu Dhabi, and Al Raqiya School, Al Ain. Teachers also hold a bachelor in the subject they teach or in education. The first cohort in the university PD programme started in January 2011. The PD programme had a curriculum of 10 modules. The next PD cohorts were launched in 2012 and 2013. EPA programme's foundation elements are in the focus of the PD programme structure. These foundation pillars emphasize strongly the approach of the ADEC New School model. During the last term of the PD programme, the teachers carry out the PD final thesis. The topics for the academic PD essays are based on the interests of the teachers and also reveal the topic areas of the PD programme. The essays reflect the teachers' understanding and experiences of the new school model features. PD thesis is research-oriented, as all the Finnish teacher education programs are. The essays are compiled into a publication. University PD program consists of lessons and lectures in a group, independent and individual work with various task exercises and literature, mentoring lessons, English studies, observation lessons, writing of essays, and finally PD thesis. PD program also includes 2 fully programmed study visits to Jyväskylä, Finland. Working together on daily basis enables interactive professional development. During the PD program, there are several Finnish teachers and head of faculties who are tutoring and mentoring the university PD program students in Al Amin and in Al Raqiya schools. This Abu Dhabi Emirate-based Finnish staff works actively with their Emirati colleagues during the whole PD program. The overall coordination and design of the PD program content is conducted by the Department of Teacher Education and EduCluster Finland experts. The master's degree program in education is continuation to the university PD program of 60 European credits. The master's degree program in education consists of 60 European credits, which adds the total of credits to 120. Through the completed program, the teachers attained a diploma on pedagogical studies. After completion of the PD program, some of the teachers were accepted for master's studies at the Faculty of Education, University of Jyväskylä. The MA studies are carried out through lectures, workshops and seminars in Abu Dhabi and in Al Ain, but also intensively through online lectures, and also seminars by professors and teachers of the University of Jyväskylä. The professors and teachers of the Faculty of Education regularly visit Abu Dhabi and Al Ain. Weekly lectures, lessons and seminars in Abu Dhabi are facilitated by experts based in Abu Dhabi and Al Ain. They all are authorized by the Faculty of Education at the University of Jyväskylä. Also, the MA program includes several study periods in Finland. The duration of these periods varies from 1 week to 2 to 3 months. Master's degree program is research-oriented. For the master's thesis, the students are required to familiarize themselves with the theory of the studied phenomena, collect the research data, conduct a data analysis, and finally report the results. The MA thesis topics are connected to the students' interests, so the thesis process supports the teacher's professional development and thus the school as a learning community. MA degree theses in education are carried out by experienced Emirati teachers. They also experienced the remarkable educational reform launched in Abu Dhabi public schools through 2009. The topics of the master's degree thesis support ADEC New School Model principles and objectives. Emirati-Finnish fusion into EPA program schools is to be seen as a solid basis to all actions in the professional development of teachers, but also as better quality teaching in the classrooms. Emirati teachers working side by side with their Finnish colleagues and mentors makes it possible to share common ideas of teachers' work and targets to improve teaching and learning. Professional learning in a dialogue is a modern and activating way of learning and making things together. The fact that the mentors and tutors are colleagues of those taking part to PD programs gives an opportunity to less formal but professional interaction. Combination of teachers' work and professional development studies give the teachers new tools to improve their teaching profession. The PD assignments and tasks are related to teachers' daily work and development of the schools. Topics of the academic essays in PD and master's degree program are related to the practical challenges in the schoolwork and also in the implementation of ADEC New School Model aids. The fact that there are differences with the education system of Abu Dhabi Emirate and Finland, and also with the basic educational background of the teachers and teacher education system. The trust in successful fusion exists in the Abu Dhabi Finland Partnership Programme. These differences may, at its best, even promote good performance in the EPA programme. Cultural differences in general, and also the working culture, gives interesting spices to this Emirati Finnish soup. But this fusion kitchen is multidimensional and tasty. Educational reforms in Finland did not happen in one night, and the success was seen only after 10,000 nights. The success of the Emirati-Finnish collaboration with the teachers' professional development leading to even better quality in the classrooms will hopefully be realized soon. However, let's give it time, even some thousands of nights. Thank you for your attention. Shukran.
Thank you, Dr. Toya. Next part of this session is an open discussion. Before we go there, I thought بحاول ألخص ما قام به المتحدثين وما تحدثوا عنه الزملاء المتحدثين. الأستاذة مهرة المطيعي تكلمت على كفاءة المعلمين وأثرها على نجاح الطالب، ووردنا مثال قوي جدا أنه الطالب أو
So the success of the student reaches 90% if the performance of the teacher is high, and vice versa. She talked also about some programs in different education institutions in the UAE, and she talks about the role and responsibility of our nation in developing the teachers and developing a strategy, a national strategy to develop the teachers. Ms. Fatima Barhif talked about evaluating the performance and the impact of this on the results of the students and outcomes of the students, and she gave a few examples. When the performance of the teacher is weak, this reflects on the outcomes of the students and the other way around. She talked also about the academic competencies and education competencies. She talked also about the initiative of Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum with regards to Arabic language and education and Islamic education and the new norms and the standard they set for this program. And she talked about Together We Progress initiative, and she shared with us how they hold annual forums to deal with the teacher and to develop their skills. Mr. Ibrahim talked about the experience of the Emirates Foundation for Youth Development and how this program managed to enroll more students and become more popular, and how they jumped from 70 applications to 4,600 applications. And he talked about the stages of this one-year program of assistant teachers. And it is twofold, theoretical and practical, and it is generalized in several schools in Dubai. And Dr. Toya, as you heard, she talks about two subjects. First, the Finnish education system in terms of the responsibility and the criteria of selecting the teachers, and how the Finnish educators are improving themselves and their capabilities in order to lead the education system, and how they do to update their curricula and the units of education and their assessment of the students and different aspects of education, and how they enable the teacher to lead by example and to contribute to the progress of the student's performance. She also talked about the program they are conducting in partnership with two schools in Abu Dhabi and Al Ain, and how they collaborate in order to design some master's programs for the teachers. This is in brief what has been delivered by our four speakers. And now I would like to remind you that the topic of this panel, the general topic of this panel, is the national programs for the preparation and development of teachers. So I would like to invite you to ask your questions or your comments. You have the floor. Thank you very much. أنا عادل رزق from United Arab University, United Arab Emirates University. In fact, this topic is very important. This is the third year successively that I attend this forum, and in this context I would like to thank all the speakers. Dr. Mahra, you shocked all the attendees, and it was one of the methods we all need in every single stage in order to reconsider what we are doing and assess what we are doing. There is the social and the community aspect. It's becoming more predominant in our approaches. And here I would like to ask a question. There are several and numerous objectives and expected outcomes and a lot of initiatives. My question here is, how can we measure these outcomes at the level of the country? I have 30 years of experience. I'm more technical, assessment system and managing the systems, etc. But here I ask, where is the national aspect and perspective that can gather collectively all these initiatives under one umbrella? My other question, or let's say it is a request to Ms. Fatma. You said, you mentioned some statistics and figures. I thank you for that, and I thank you for sharing with us the experience of quality control, quality school control, school quality control. But I think that the importance should be given to the teacher. Do you have any method in order to convey these statistics and figures to all education institutions in the UAE? I also have something for Mr. Hussein. You mentioned a very important initiative. It is still pilot initiative, but you didn't share with us what is the expected outcome of this initiative. Okay, I understand the role of assistant teacher, but you didn't illustrate in detail what are your expected outcomes from this initiative and this program. And last, I think that education in the United Arab Emirates is based on females. This is a reality, and I take this opportunity to thank all the female teachers in the UAE, because education lies over their shoulders. Thank you very much.
Assalamu alaikum.
Peace be upon you. Regarding your question, I can tell you that for the United Arab Emirates, measuring outcomes nationwide, I can tell you that His Highness Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum launched the initiative in 2010, and in order to achieve this initiative, all the stakeholders should contribute, government-wise, federal-wise, and community. This vision was translated in items, and one of its items is first-class education, and it was translated into strategic plans, and after that an agenda that is measurable and that is clear to all stakeholders and concerned parties in order to know after a while whether we achieve this target or not. We declared on 2014 that there are some indexes that we need to achieve by 2021. One of these indexes is that we have to have highly qualified teachers of 100%, and we have detailed indexes about the quality of the teacher and the high performance of the teacher. We need to reach 100% in all schools of the country. Also, we need to improve our outcomes in PISA test, and we target to be one of the best 20 countries worldwide. So the schools are required So these indexes are taken into consideration by all the education stakeholders, and at the top of them there is the ministry, and this will be cascaded in the schools and all education institutions in order to achieve our objectives in the set time frame.
Last year, when we finished the control system on all schools in the Emirate of Dubai, we had meeting with the principals of school and heads of department and teachers. We examined this information, and we had meeting with different teams, and all of them summarized the targets for the school after they obtained all the information. That was one of the means established. Each school would get its own report on school control, and they have different criteria. Each criteria will have details, and will give details about the improvement area for the schools. And they are in Arabic and in English, and explains in detail the situation of the school. As our colleague Maha said, the private schools in Dubai, each one of the schools has its own report in details and its current status vis-à-vis the international standards. Also within the system of control, it's not a control of the schools, but it's dealing in a professional way with the schools. We meet with the principals, with the heads of departments, and get some feedback on the status of the school. And also for the KHD app, if you put KHDA, you will get all the reports of the school control, and the tutor and the parents of the students can get all the reports from HDR. Thank you for your question. The program called Kiani is still in its infancy now. We still need like 1.5 hours to gauge the success of the program. But up to today, we have established the standards of success of the program. To answer your question, today our role is to assist the assistant teachers. For the assistant teachers, we want this program to promote and support the teachers at schools, and support the curricula in school and the students. So the role of the assistant teachers includes helping the teachers in conveying the learning in the best way and to better organize work at school. This helps in the success of the students, and this is the main role of assistant teachers in schools, either private or public. Peace be upon you.
Quick comment and a very short question. There's been, in relation to pedagogy, the method of teaching, there's been a seismic change on the international platform in relation to the educational approach of teaching, a movement away from the ideologically coloured, student-centred, constructivist model to a more instructionalist, teacher-centred, content-rich pedagogy there. And this change has taken place because of a result of the low-level, basic, essential knowledge which students are supposed to have. This has affected the workplace. We have seen this take place in UK, in New Zealand, Australia, and also the US. Do you agree there should also be a change, a fundamental change to accompany this in terms of the teaching pedagogy, in terms of teacher training? Thank you.
The educational material is rich with curricula, and now it is easier to absorb the material, and the teachers need to be empowered so they can deliver the new material in the best way possible. I think your question was for Dr. Toya.
Thank you for your question. It is great concern all over the world that we really should be able to take care of those who are not that competent with their skills at school in different subjects. And we have to take care of the teacher education so that the teacher educators really concentrate and focus on giving skills for the teachers so that they can manage and be able to help and assist and give the best child-centered pedagogical approaches what they ever can. In Finland, like I told you, teacher education has very long tradition, and we really highly appreciate teachers' work and profession in Finland. So the trust that the teachers really know what they are doing in the classrooms, they really know what to do with the assignments, and they really do know how to assess their students. And I think the fact that we don't have national standardized tests and teachers do not have to focus on keeping and having good tests and giving marks to the students all the time, they really can concentrate on good teaching, good planning. And because they are in the center of constructing and revising our national framework curriculum, every teacher really is responsible for making the good national curriculum framework. They are working in teams locally, and there are teachers who are in national development teams for the curriculum. And they really have to know what they are revising and doing and planning. And then the curriculum really has to become reality in every classroom. In Finland, equity of students is very, very important. Every child has to have and will have good teaching every day. Teachers are in the classroom. They are responsible of the learning and good teaching, and the principals trust that the teachers do that.
In the name of God, I am Dr. Razi Adib. I am from the Ministry of Education in Jordan. My question is to Ms. Maher. You said that joining higher education for females is open. We'd like to know the reason, because knowing why will help us in setting up the program for teachers.
There is no assessment in Finland, and this allowed for teachers to teach. Did you thought that the assessment is a block in the way of raising the educational system, and you recommend to block and to stop the assessment in any educational system, or this is special for Finland? Thanks.
Okay. Just ask everybody just to limit their question to one question if you can. And the panel will maybe answer in 1 minute, if you can.
سبب التراجع.
The reason why the number of female teachers, the female who join higher education is open. There was a study which examined the number of the new students who joined university and the college of education, so that they become teachers. And there could be like 5 reasons why students do not integrate education to become teachers. First is the status of the teachers in society, and there's also the financial situation. The financial reason is one of the main factors for the females not joining the College of Education, and also the status of the teachers in society, and also the kind of problems that teachers face with students when they are in high schools. Also in Finland, which is one of the best educational systems, but if we compare between the teacher in Finland and his salary in Finland, it's almost similar to the salary of the teacher in the UAE. The salary of teacher in Finland is also similar to most other professions in Finland. So it's not question of money, it's question of culture in society. If you want to get local teachers, if you want to develop our education, we need first to change the culture about the importance of teaching by increasing the desire and willingness of the students to learn. Then the student will desire to become a teacher as well.
Okay, thank you for your answer. I'm very happy because I have heard here many times that how important it really is that we value the profession of the teacher. And the profession of the teacher is not easy. It's difficult. It's a very complex profession, and it requires a lot from the person who is studying to become a teacher. And that is something that we really have to know, and we have to do something with that. We have to train the teachers. We have to appreciate the work they are doing with their students and with their studies. And like here we heard many stories by the female student teachers, and they are mothers. They have big families. They have big responsibilities with their families, and they still have the power, or they should have the power to study and concentrate and understand all the miracles in educational life and the development of the child. So if we are good in that we have the value high for the profession of the teachers and really do and make our schools and teacher training to be like that, here and all over the world, we will have excellent teachers. How do we assess infant? Yes. Our assessment system is very, very different, really, than it's here. We don't have national standardized tests, and the only national standardized test is in the end of the senior high school. And if you want to apply for the teacher education, then you really have to be good in that test, because that is very important, but that is not the only information you give to the university. But with the smaller, younger pupils, teachers are of course using many kinds of testing, and they are continuously assessing the performance of the teacher, of the students, all the time in the classroom. And we are giving marks. We give marks. They will have certificates with numbers, and also more orally or describing how is the performance in different subjects. We do have parents and students meetings, so we have the child and the parents and the teachers together. They meet and they have a plan, and they in a way, they assess together how has it been going. And these ways of assessing have been very good. But of course, we have formal tests as well, but we don't have national standardized tests. And teachers really do not have to struggle with testing and giving marks to the pupils all the time. We trust that the teachers do that every day, and they do.
And then I am Aisha Al-Ashid. I am mentor at the Ministry of Education. I have 23 years of experience in education. First of all, I would like to thank the Emirates Center for organizing this conference, which is about teachers and educators. I would like to talk about the speech of Dr. Amal Qabaisi when she talked about teachers. I wish that every teacher in the UAE would have heard her talking, because she said enough about the teachers in the UAE. And also the speech of our colleague Mahar, she talked about the field of education and the suffering of the teachers in the UAE. The teachers do not have the recognition they deserve, and people do not encourage their children to become teachers because of the burden that they will have on their shoulders, and also the financial situation, even if the financial aspect is not important, but it's still important because the teacher, he will devote his health, his life to his profession. Because if we look at other professions, some people who are graduate from high schools, they get the same or higher salary than teachers. This is why it's important for us to give the teachers the recognition he deserves in society. Thank you. I think we're going to close this discussion. This will be the last question. I am Salwa Abdelghani. I am from ADEC. I am a teacher. The aspects of the conference are excellent. I have a question for Mr. Hussein concerning the assistant teachers. Is it something that will be compulsory? Would all teachers get helpers, get assistants? Or is it just for specific cases, for specific students? We have those who are with special needs, and the whole of Abu Dhabi Education Council, we deal with them depending on the classes, depending on the needs of the teachers when they want to pass on the curricula to students. We have those who are students with special needs. Some organizations try to integrate the students in the school, and also the assistant, the helper would help is I will give an example to explain to you. We attended an event where the helper was trying to help the student in conducting some educational activities, some simple things that would alleviate the pressure on the teacher. That's the point, is to alleviate the pressure on the teacher, because some teachers they may have some problems focusing during the class. If you can examine that aspect, thank you. Of course, we cannot cover all these issues during 1 or 2 sessions. At the end of this session, we'd like to thank the Emirates Center for Strategic Studies and Research, and also Mr. Marwan Suwaha, and we'd like to thank Abu Dhabi Education Council. We'd like to thank the speakers. We'd like to thank all of you for being with us, and we will have the next panel, which will take place here after 20 minutes. So please be here after 20 minutes.